If you have followed this podcast series from week 1 up until week 10, then you must have learned something powerful. And if by any means you have actually implemented what you've learned from week 1 to week 10, then you must have built something powerful. Yeah, you must have clarified your positioning, you must have built your offers, you must have built a content engine, you must have understood how to create art that actually work, and of course, you must have amplified your demand. But here is the truth most people never talk about, and that is that demand is not really the finish line. Instead, demand is the beginning of responsibility for a brand. Why? Because the moment your brand begins to generate consistent sales, then the game changes. So the question is no longer, how do I get clients? Instead, the question becomes, how do I build profit, stability, and longevity in this business? So this episode is right about that shift, because the reality is that revenue without structure would always create pressure, and demand without optimization would create burnouts for your business, for its ecosystem, your workers, and everyone. And what happens to growth without margin, without real profitability? Your business structure would be fragile, all right? It will create fragility. So today we are moving from marketing to actual ownership. So today's episode topic is profit optimization and lifetime value. That is turning demand into durable compounding revenue for your brand. Now, let me say something that may actually challenge you. All right, revenue is often the loudest number, which is good, but many times it is the least important one. Yeah, true. Revenue is what people post. We made 10 million naira. The question is it 10 million naira for the brand, or is it 10 million naira just revenue, and maybe there's even loss while making the 10 million naira? All right, profit in reality is what keeps people calm at night. When you understand that we made 10 million naira and then our expenditure is just 2 million naira, so we have 8 million naira profit, meaning this 8 million naira is our money. That is what matters, not just making 10 million naira and then expenditure of 12 million naira. You're going to be worried, you're going to be stressed, and that is not the kind of brand you want to be building, the one that makes loss. No, you don't want that. So revenue, while it is good, is not what matters the most. All right, you can scale your brand to 6 figures, making revenue of 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures in naira or in dollars, and still feel financially anxious. Why? Because revenue does not equal retained cash. There are businesses generating $40,000 a month. I'm sure you want to generate $40,000 a month if currently you're only generating $1,000 or less than $1,000 a month, or $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month. But there are businesses generating more than $40,000 a month, but they are spending heavily on ads, spending heavily on contractors, heavily on tools, heavily on fulfillment, and they have a whole lot of overhead costs that is taking a chunk of their money. And because of that, what is left at the end is thin. In reality, that is not scale. That is just volume. You have voluminous revenue, but because you're not really making more revenue than expenditure, you're going to have stress in your business. So beyond just revenue, there are 2 metrics that matter more in your business. They matter more than revenue, and that is CAC and LTV. CAC means the customer acquisition cost, while LTV means the lifetime value. So your CAC is how much it costs you or your brand to actually acquire one paying client, while your lifetime value, the LTV, is how much that client will generate over a long period of time for your business. So for example, if it costs you $900 to acquire a client who only pay you $1,200 just once, not over a long period of time, not paying you $1,200 consistently every month, but the client can only pay you the $1,200 once, then you don't have scale. What you have is fragility. All this scale requires that your lifetime value significantly outweighs the CAC, customer acquisition cost. Not slightly, but significantly. So if it takes you 100,000 naira now to acquire a client that would pay you 300,000 per month, but the client will stay with you over a year, over 2 years, that means the lifetime value is significantly more than what it costs you to acquire that client. So if there's a client that has worked with you for 2 years, and over the course of 2 years, the client had paid you around 3 million 6 million, 10 million naira in 2 years, maybe client just paying you 400k per month, and over a year, that's around 4.8 million naira in a year. In 2 years, that's around 9.6 million naira. And maybe it costs you just 100,000 naira, or even 200, or even 300,000 naira to acquire that client. So over the long period of time, you've significantly generated more revenue than it cost you to acquire that client. This is how you want to think as a business owner. And this is why some businesses can spend aggressively on ads and remain confident that, yeah, will remain profitable. So for that kind of client, if you know that your business model is great, you are able to retain your client, especially you can deliver great results for the client, and maybe the client will pay you 400k per day. I know that some people would just want to spend 5k, 10k, 20k to acquire that client, but for that particular type of client, they can spend 50k, 100k, 150k, 200k to acquire that client. Even though the first payment is 400k, it looks like I'm spending 200k to acquire someone that will pay me 400k, so I only have 200k profit, but that's just for the first month. Over a long period of time, you can't compare. There is significant, huge marginal difference, right? That is how oversubscribed brands thinking long term, thinking the lifetime value of that client. Only if you know that your business model would ensure that the clients keep paying you consistently. And of course, this also works because for that kind of brand, they have strong back end, right? Not just the front end value that the client is paying every month. They have upsells, they have downsells, they have many more products in the back end that client can buy. Yeah, that is where real optimization is. And of course, I'm going to spend more time talking about lifetime value. And given the example I just made, clients paying you 400k monthly just from the front end product alone. All right. Now, most businesses make a mistake focusing just on that first sale. But in actual fact, the real profitability is built after the first sale, because it's easier to sell to someone that has bought from you before if your product, your offer is great. If you have great business model, if your front end offer is great, satisfy the client. If it's a subscription offer, that's very awesome and powerful. But sometimes it's just a one-off offer. Even at that, you can still have a back end of upsells and many more offers that will still satisfy that client. All right. So the easiest person to sell is someone who has already bought from you. The person has experienced the first product. The person has gotten the satisfaction. The person has had his or her problem solved. Trust has already been established and risk has already been reduced. So it is easy to sell these clients your upsells, your downsells, your higher ticket offers. All right, your subscription offers, which is one of the best offers. All right, but if on the other hand your business only monetize a client just once, the thing is that you're going to be consistently under pressure to find new clients every single time, and that's not the kind of business model your business, your brand wants to have, because that is very exhaustive. Increasing lifetime value of your customers can happen in two major powerful ways. Number one is continuity. Number two is ascension, and I'm going to explain them. Number one is continuity, of course. That's a subscription model. Somebody keep paying you every single time. All right, like that 400k per month service. Maybe email marketing. All right, the person pays you every month, or it's a SaaS software as a service. Person subscribe to your software every single month, keep paying you. That is awesome. All right, so you have long lifetime value. So that's very high power level, all right, of generating lifetime value. Subscription, you have retainers, as I've mentioned. You have membership. Maybe it's a membership website, all right, that everyone in that website pays every single month, all right, or ongoing advisory. Anything that just gets people to keep paying you every single month. You create something once, we keep paying you every single time. Netflix, people subscribe to Netflix every single month. That is continuity. So when you have a continuity offer like that, subscription, retainers, membership, ongoing advice, anything that just get people keep paying you every month, then that will stabilize your cash flow. So you know that you just need to get these clients just once, and this client will keep paying you every single time, so long that your offer is satisfying the client. Now, the next part to achieving lifetime value is ascension. All right, ascension is the next level offer. Is what we call the upsell. All right, someone has bought the front end offer. Maybe someone bought a course from you, for instance. A course is do it yourself. They are on their own. You can upgrade from a course do it yourself to a coaching, and the coaching can still be a group coaching, and that is awesome. All right, so that is moving from one level they've been satisfied to a higher level offer. So that is ascension, ascending them. That's how we call it upselling. All right, a higher ticket offer. Someone joins your group program, that's group coaching. Person can ascend to a mastermind where they are the one talking about themselves, teaching themselves. So where the group program can be focused on getting your students from ₦1 million per month to 100 million naira per month. A mastermind is people who are already earning more than 100 million naira per month. All right, that's a high level group coaching where, in fact, everybody is learning from themselves, getting experience from themselves. A limited scope of group of people earning a specific amount of money, everybody getting experience from themselves and competing to actually beat themselves and achieve a particular goal. So ascension is another thing that you can do. All right, so you have a front end offer, always have offers at the back end that people would buy after they bought the front end offer. Now, ascension, getting people to buy upsells, it means you are building supporting solutions, not any random products. Not that you sold headphone and then your ascension product is something that is not related to headphone. No, you are getting people along a journey. You've taken them from point A to point F. Now you want to take them from point F to point O, from point O to point S, from point S to point Z. That is what ascension is. So now that I've talked about ascension, that is upselling, there are some other things that you can do within ascension. All right, now ascension means you are upselling people a higher level products along the same path, all right, along the same journey. That's ascension. But they can also be ecosystem expansion. All right, not that you are now selling random products to people, but you can also still create supporting solutions in the same ecosystem. All right, so let me give you an example about ecosystem expansion, still under ascension. For example, let's talk about email marketing. All right, I am selling an email marketing course. I've sold the course. I can have a coaching program, which is a higher level program in email marketing. All right, I have sold the course, taught people do it yourself course on email marketing. I can have a coaching program where I meet with people 2 times a week or 3 times a week in the coaching program, where I actually show you live how I write my emails, I answer questions and all of that. That is upselling, still along the same path of journey. All right, that's upselling. And I can have a one-on-one program. All right, so that is another upsell, still on email marketing. All right, because I want to actually pour out all myself to people. So there's some questions that people might not be able to have in a group coaching, but I can have a one-on-one program, consulting program about on email marketing, and I'm selling it for a higher price. So that is what we call upselling. But when I talk about ecosystem expansion, so while I am talking about email marketing, I'm teaching email marketing, but giving you higher value along the same path, I can have some supporting solutions to email marketing. So while I'm teaching email marketing, I can also come up with teaching you how to actually run the ads that generate the leads for your email marketing. So that is supporting it. It is not random, because if you are an email marketer, you might want to learn how to actually run the ads that generate the leads. So it is still within the ecosystem of digital marketing, because email marketing is a subset of digital marketing. So it is still within the same ecosystem of digital marketing, or even more related to email marketing. I can now teach you how to get jobs as an email marketer. All right. And now I'm not teaching email marketing. I'm teaching you email freelancers, people who have bought my email marketing course. I'm now teaching them how to actually sell their email marketing service to high network clients. So that is a supporting solution that still benefits the same clients. So that is ecosystem expansion. It's still within Ascension, but I don't want to make it a separate group. So that is ecosystem expansion, and that's another way for you to actually increase the lifetime value of your audience. And of course, another subset of Ascension, which could even stand out on its own, is re-engagement. Re-engagement means you're just creating another campaign to bring the same clients back into your funnel and get them to buy new opportunities. All right, so you have new opportunities you want to sell to these same clients. They bought your products maybe 2 or 3 times, they subscribed, and now they are off your brand. All right, they're standing on their own. You can create campaigns that create new opportunities for these clients, so that you can re-engage them and you can keep selling to them, because we already paid to acquire them already. So you can build campaigns that actually bring them back to new opportunities. Maybe the first time you got this client, you've not built your upsells, you've not built your backend offers. All right, so they've disengaged with you. So you can just re-engage these clients after you've created these new opportunities. Then create a campaign that will actually bring back these clients into your brand. So that is what you want to do. But the major path is continuity and ascension. All right, lifetime value optimization would remove pressure from us. You want to get that first client by all means, because you must generate revenue. But when you know that these clients can stay with me for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 1 year at the minimum, so there's no pressure. All right, so you can actually make money from the clients, and knowing that you will keep making money from the clients over a long period of time. So there's no stress on you as a brand owner. and you don't have to keep getting new client every month. As a brand owner, knowing that you have lifetime value, instead of needing 100 new clients every single month, you must generate 100 new clients, because the past clients, they've engaged you for 1 month and they are gone. You have to generate new clients, 100 new clients, for you to maintain your cash flow, for you to maintain your payroll, for you to do all of these things. 100 new clients must be generated every month. Instead of that, with correct business model, understanding lifetime value, you may only need just 40 new clients, because the value per client increases. So you may only need just 10 new clients. All right, maybe because the 100 clients you got last month, they are still with you. Maybe just 10 people left, maybe just 20 left. So you might just need just 10 new clients, because majority of them are still staying with you and they're still buying your offer the next month, the next month, and the next month. That is how lifetime value change your business model and optimize your revenue. Not just revenue, optimize your profitability. Now, everything I've explained, especially on the part of ascension, depends on your ability to work on the back end, because in reality, the back end is where the profit lives. All right. Front end offers can generate volume for your business, especially if it is a low ticket offer. But many people stop there and they don't create the back end offers. But the back end offers generate margins, generate much more profit for you, because you've already spent money to acquire these customers who bought your front end offers. Now you're not spending any money to get them again. All you have to do is to sell them your back end offers. That means you have pure margins, no more customer acquisition costs. That is already covered when you sold them the front end offers. But the reality is that many creators play too at the front end offer. Well, some will sell the low ticket offer, and they may even sell the mid ticket offer at the back end, but then they play too there. They stop there. Maybe they are afraid. Maybe they are wondering, is this not too much? Will I want to charge my clients, my customers, and ask them to pay too more? The reality is that your customers want more value from you. The question is, did they get the value from the low ticket offer in the front end? Did they get the higher value in the mid ticket offer? If they get it and they are satisfied, a point will come, they will outgrow that value. They want more. As long as you yourself, you are building and you are 10 steps ahead of your customers, of your clients, you spend time, effort, energy, and money to gain that high value, then there's nothing wrong in you giving them that higher value. All right. Maybe the mid ticket offer is a coaching. All right. You've sold the cost to them. You've sold coaching to them. That's a mid ticket offer. All right. But you can give them more of a high ticket offer where they work with you one on one. The reality is that your clients, your customers want to spend money. But if you don't allow them to spend the money with you, then they are going to go and spend the money with somebody else. And you don't want that. You've spent the money to acquire them. You spent your customer acquisition cost to acquire them. Why not enjoy the benefits of getting greater margins by creating higher ticket offers for these clients? So create different high ticket offers. It could be strategic implementation. You've sold the coaching to them. Now implementation can be the high ticket offer. It can be licensing of your product, of your intellectual property. It can be done with you expansion. Giving them a done for you course can be a done with you expansion. All right. It depends on your industry, your brand, your offers, different kind of high ticket offer that you can always give to your customers who have bought the front end offers and who have bought the mid ticket offers also. And yeah, it is true that back end offers, back end depths would create fewer clients, because only fewer people will be able to ascend and buy your back end offers. But at the same time, it creates higher profitability, because now you are charging them more in order for you to give them more value. That's number one. It gives you higher profitability. Number two, knowing that you have back-end depth, back-end offers, it also allows you to spend more confidently on marketing your front-end offers, because you know you are going to get higher profit in the back end. So you're no longer agitating, am I spending too much on acquiring these customers? You know that you're not spending too much. Even if you're spending a whole lot, you know you are going to get more from this customer in the back end. So you want to ensure that you are creating back-end offers, high ticket offers in the back end. If you do this, you're going to stop being afraid of ad spend. You're going to stop being worried of customer acquisition costs. Instead, you start making calculated investments. So now that we've talked about creating back-end offers, that's your upsells, your high ticket offers, mid ticket, then high ticket offers, let's talk about what we were discussing earlier on about continuity. All right. Now, continuity will only happen when there is retention. You have to do everything within your power to retain your clients. And that's the truth many people don't realize. Retention, the ability to ensure that your clients remain with you, even with that subscription model, because many business owners have so much of churn rates. All right, people subscribe to your subscription model, and then after 3 months, they start working with you. And there's a problem with that, because if clients leave you quickly, then you would always constantly need replacements for those clients. So you always want to find new clients to replace them. But what if the clients stay longer? Then your revenue base would stabilize. Then you can be sure of long-term value of that client. Then to be easier for you to spend money to run ads and get the clients inside the door. So how is retention influenced? How do you ensure you maintain retention? Retention is influenced by, one, your onboarding clarity. You must be clear about how you onboard people when they first buy into your offer. All right, when they buy your front end offers, how do you onboard them? How do you welcome them? What is the first experience they get from you? When they buy your offer, do you just ghost them and then you come back and talk to them after a week? Or what is the first experience like? It's a psychological effect that if their first experience with you is great, even if you make some mistake along the line, they might forgive you. All right, because they think it's unlike you. Why? Because they are judging you from the standpoint of that first experience. So you must be clear about the onboarding. You must be clear about the expectations. Because if you're not clear about the expectation, even if you meet all the expectation, they will think you've done nothing and they'll be dissatisfied. All right. That's why your offer in the first place must be clear about what you want to give them. And even when they bought the offer, you still have to be clear again during the onboarding process. So you and your clients or your customers have the same goal you are actually pursuing, so that when you hit that goal, then they know that you have fulfilled the value you promised them for that particular level of offer. All right. And that will also help you in managing the expectation. If your onboarding is clear, then you manage expectation. So that's number 2, expectation management. All right. Clarity in the onboarding ensures that the expectation is not too high. Not that they buy a front end offer and they're expecting the value of the high ticket offer. Because the reality is that your high ticket offer and your front end offer might be solving the same problem, but in different ways. All right. So the fact that they read your landing page, they saw the offer, doesn't necessarily mean that they might not expect something else. All right, so that's why the onboarding must be clear, and that will help in managing the expectation. So you must also let them know about your mode of communication. Do you communicate via WhatsApp? How do you reach out to them? Is it via Instagram DM? Is it via WhatsApp? I have a client that she responds on via Instagram DM, but not as much as via WhatsApp. So if I am in the Instagram DM and someone message, I'll respond that, okay, kindly message us on WhatsApp, so that the client will respond to their customers quickly enough. So it must be clear that this is a mode of communication, so that you and your clients, you're on the same side and they don't feel disrespected. You yourself, you don't feel stressed if you cannot communicate in a way that they would expect you to communicate. And of course, you must quickly give them some visible wins. All right, some early wins. That is one experience you must give them. Let's say the front end offer wants to give them these wins, but if it is possible for you to give them small wins that is visible early enough before you then finally are able to give them this level of wins, then that would help them see you as credible, and they will have more faith, more belief that you'll be able to give them this level of wins. All right, so you must give them some early wins. I'm working with these lines for social media management. I build the funnel and I'm going to run the ad. All right. While we are still just posting organic content, she's already getting some sales. She's getting some tractions. I was still building the funnel before we run the ad. And then she asked me, have you started running ad? Because whatever you are doing is getting some results. Whatever you are doing is bringing some tractions. I've gotten visible wins early enough, even before we run the ad. All right. So that is something you want to ensure that happens when dealing with your clients. That is what will get them to remain with you. That is what will help you in retention, so that you can guarantee the lifetime value of that client. Another one is perceived momentum. All right, there must be some perceived progress. Let's say you are building a website, for instance. All right, don't just close communication with the clients and then build the website in the dark and then come back after 1 month. I am done. No, there's a way you communicate the level of progress for the client. So the client is assured, okay, there is momentum, something is going, some results are being achieved. It's all about perception. All you want to do is to shape the client's perception. All right, nobody knows your intention, that you are great, you are the best. People only know what you show them. So you have to be forthright in showing them something that get them perceive that, okay, there's momentum and there's progress in these projects, so they can believe that you would complete the project without any hiccups. So that progress is what will keep them from leaving you. All right, because you don't want churn in your business. You don't want clients to come in and then leave after 2 months. No, churn quietly kills your scale, because you'll be looking to acquire new client to replace that client every single time, instead of you to scale from your present growth. You will be looking for you to grow instead of to move from growing to scaling. So you want to avoid churn. You want to have some retention. And what I've just explained would help you get retention. And you can improve your retention even by just 10 to 20%. It will dramatically increase your lifetime value. All right. So if you have 10 clients at the beginning of a quarter, and at the end of the next quarter, you are able to keep just 5 clients, that is great. What if at the end of the second quarter, you were able to keep 8 clients? So you have more lifetime revenue. Instead of 5, you have 3 more. That's 8 clients. What if you're able to keep all of them? Awesome, perfect. And with that, all you need to do is just to scale and have more revenue. But if you have plenty churn, you have 10 clients at the beginning of the quarter, by the end of the second quarter, you're having 3 clients, then you'll be looking to find 7 new clients to get to where you were in the beginning of the first quarter. As you can see, it leads to stress, it leads to you fidgeting about how much you're going to spend to acquire a client, because you're not even sure of the lifetime value of that client. All right. So you want to prevent churn by influencing retention. And to do this, is not just about having new traffic to maintain retention. All you need is better delivery design. Now, this only applies if your offer is a continuity offer. All right. And even if it's an ascension offer, not a one-off offer. All right, not just that you only have a front-end product, and that front-end product is not even a continuity product. If you have a continuity product, that product subscription, retainer base, membership, and all of that, all you need to maintain retention is better delivery design. And everything I've just explained would give you that better delivery. Clear onboarding, progress, momentum, managing expectations, and the rest, they would give you better delivery. And better delivery will ensure retention and lifetime value in your business. And like I said earlier on, that delivery should lead to better experience. Now, it looks like I'm repeating what I'm saying, but I'm trying to show you in different angles how you can increase lifetime value and even lower customer acquisition costs. All right, the better delivery design should lead to experience. Experience is what keeps people in your business. Let's take, for instance, you're selling an information product. All right, people might not necessarily be paying for that information because they can get the information everywhere. Many times the information is on YouTube. All right, so information might be gotten everywhere. The reason why people would pay for your info products is because they want transformation. They might even know the information upstairs, but they've not yet been able to practicalize it. They've not yet been able to implement it. They don't yet have transformation. They don't have visible results. So what they are paying for is not for you to give them another PDF to go and read on their own. All right. They are paying for structure. That is why that could be your main ticket or your high ticket. They are paying for accountability. I've talked about continuity, all right, retention by ensuring that your better delivery will make your subscription model pay you. They will be retained to keep paying for the subscription model or for the retainer offers. How about for Ascension, where your product is not really a retainer product, a retainer offer, but you have front-end offer, you have mid-ticket, you have high-ticket offers? What are you going to do? All right. When you realize that what people are paying for or what they want is not necessarily just information, what they want is better experience, is transformation. What they want is quick results. They can get this result in 1 year. Is it possible for them to be able to get it in 6 months? Is it possible for them to be able to get it in 1 month? Okay, they made 10 million naira in 1 year. Is it possible for them to make it in 6 months? Is it possible for them to make the same amount in 1 month? That is what they want from you. All right. They want accountability. They want proximity. When the body calls, they still did not have so much access to you. They only have access to your information. Now they want an offer that will give them proximity to you. So that's a group coaching. From that, they might want an offer that give them one-on-one access to you. All right. That's your high-level ticket cost or your mastermind. Or they want proximity to other high-level business owners in your community. That's a mastermind. Right. So this is what people want. They want transformation, and that transformation is what will ensure that we are creating more offers for them. They want implementation. Anybody can go on YouTube and watch videos, but people want someone to coach them, someone to tell them what you are doing is wrong. This is how to do it. Someone to show them the way, someone to show them how they have done it, how they made mistake, the result they got, so that they too would follow it. But in reality, if you are buying courses, you will realize that many of these courses you are buying, you already know what is inside the course. All right, so you are wondering, why are these people getting better result than I? Because I know the same thing that is teaching me. You bought the same course, I know everything. How am I getting it? The problem is that many people have imposter syndrome. All right, they just think that all they need is to keep acquiring information, whereas what they need is to implement. All right, but people think there might still be something that I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not getting results. Whereas what they need is to keep implementing and implementing and implementing. So when they get to you, they don't want you to just give them another course. They want you to show them what you know is enough. What you need is implement. All right. So when they come to your mastermind, to your group coaching, it gives them that confidence that they know enough, or they need someone to push them to actually implement what they know. All right. Is that belief that you are able to install in them? That is the value that they want from you. The value they want is for you to give them that confidence that what they know is enough. What they now need is to implement. While they are implementing, they will make some mistakes, make some errors. Now, from your own experience, that you can guide them during that implementation. That is a very great value, far better than the information that they will have gotten free of charge on YouTube. That is why they're going to pay more for that, and they're going to be able to implement. Because when people pay for something, then they are forced to implement on it. But when you watch it on YouTube, it looks like, even though the information is good, because it is free, they don't really value it. So the value is the fact that they pay for that access for you to guide them for that implementation. All right. So you must create all this experience for your audience, and it is this experience that will also lead them to actually remain with you. All right. The feedback, the identity shift, the belief in themselves. If that experience they gain from working with you, from associating with you, is strong, they're going to refer others to you, because there are other people like them who have that imposter syndrome, who have that I need to consume information syndrome. All right, I need to consume more information. So what they want from me is not more information. What they want from me is experience. That experience that made them move from always looking for information without doing anything about it to becoming the OG, becoming the experienced person themselves. Is that experience that they want from you. So if you can create better offers, mid-ticket offers, high-ticket offers, in order to give them that experience that will really transform them, then you are in for a ride. Because in reality, you wonder why you create a course and people are not really watching everything, because many times they are not newbies, ignorant people that don't know anything. All right, the courses are for those people that don't know anything. Many times they know it, they just have not yet learned to implement. These are the kind of people that when you sell the course to them, they will wonder, I bought your course. I thought I would start making money. I'm not making money. They think the course itself will help them. So they keep buying courses upon courses upon courses. But no, what they need is implementation. So that is what you sell to those kind of people. If you give them a better experience, the reality is that if people's lives are transformed, they will refer other people to your business. And the more referral you get, then you have lower customer acquisition costs. And lower customer acquisition costs will definitely increase your profit margin. As you can see, experience design is not fluffy. It is the reality. You must design experience. Your delivery design, I talked a while ago, must be such that it gives them a long-lasting experience, long-lasting impression about your business. All right. So you must be strategic about how you design that experience. The stronger the experience, the stronger the back-end orders that you're going to start having. Because they've experienced you in the front end, they want to experience more of you. They want to experience more of you. They want to experience more. Then your profits will increase drastically. I actually think about faith in each of my episodes. So let me just talk about stewardship, right, of increasing as a business owner. Week 1 to week 10, we talk about how to actually generate demand. Now, it's about increasing, it's about scaling. So let's talk about maturity. Your growth as someone serving God, even via your business, your growth would test your character. Your revenue increases. People say that many people have not sinned because they've not yet made enough money that will fund their limitation. All right. So the question is, when your business revenue increases, would you allow money to rule over you? Or will you start giving it to your temptation? Will you start funding your temptation? or will you still remain that faithful steward of his resources? All right. So you don't start getting carried away by much revenue, so that you start overspending in your personal life and even in your business. All right. You don't let that money be like a drug to you. Start since there's plenty of money, let's overspend. All right. You don't scale too fast. You don't quickly hire 100 people. And that, like I said, I think I've said it in last episode or 2 episodes ago, that scaling too fast kills more business than just having bad idea. All right. When you scale too fast without first building capacity, a structure that will accommodate your scale, you will regret it. Jesus said, who is the person that is going to a war with another nation and does not count and prepare, all right, and realize, okay, this is the army I want to use to fight that other army. If he does not plan for it, and if he takes 10,000 soldiers to the war and realize that person has 20,000 or 10,000 soldiers, then he will thinking of asking for peace to raid because he has not built capacity before he took up that battle. So before you think of scaling, don't scale too fast. Ensure you build structure. Ensure you have built capacity. You don't expand without structure. All right. You don't hire without clarity. You don't focus on units economics. Okay, what is our cost per acquisition in this our niche? How are we getting results? You want to document everything down. You want to hire one person. You want to teach that one person how this is being done before you now deploy that one person. From that one person, you want to build that system so that everybody is following the same standard operating procedure, the same SOP, so that you have a system that is independent of you, a system that is generating the same high quality result even when you are not there. Not that this person is doing his own, another person is doing their own, another person is doing their own. No, you want to document, then you want to teach the person, you want to guide the person with your documentation, then you want to deploy the person to actually do it while you watch and see the person deliver exactly what you have delivered. Then you want to expand to 2, 3, 4, 5, build a system, build a team. Everybody is producing the same high level results even without you. And now you know that you can scale from that team. So the team itself can now hire other people to actually do the same thing they are doing. So that is what you want to do. You don't want to scale too fast and pawn yourself out. So stewardship means you build system before scaling further. It means you increase your revenue. Stewardship means you reinvest wisely. Stewardship means you protect your margins. Profit optimization is not greed. It is taking responsibility. Now, just to be clear, profit optimization is not the same thing as greed. It's taking responsibility. If your business is profitable, then you'll be able to be relaxed and serve your customers well. You'll be able to pay your staff salary. You'll be able to do things that you can do without being stressed. That is because you are taking responsibility. And it is true, a stable business would create a better client result. A stable business would have less stress. A stable business would have more longevity. A stable business would have greater generosity. So profits create freedom, and freedom allows better decisions. So my friend, if you want durable growth, start reviewing this weekly. Number 1, review your customer acquisition cost. How much does it take you to actually acquire one customer for that week? Number 2, review lifetime value. Are there customers that are still with us, that are with us in the beginning, and they are still with us? Are we keeping customers or we are losing customers? Review your profit margin. Review your retention rates. Review your upsell conversion rates. Review your refund rate. Are people asking for a refund every single time they buy from us? Review your revenue per client. All right. If you do this will shift your identity, and you stop measuring success by just mere activity. Instead, you start measuring success by your efficiency. And the truth is, efficiency actually compounds. So, closing this episode, in the early stages, all right, you start out as a business owner, hunting for clients. And that is good. But in the next stage, you want to start building system. You are building system that drive the client towards you. This system causes you to become oversubscribed and generate demand for your business. But in this stage, you are optimizing for profits. And this is where you transform from being a marketer to being an operator. You transform from chasing revenue to engineering stability. Because it is true that demand is powerful. And that's awesome. That's great. You should and you must engineer demand. But profits is protective. And longevity is actually built on optimization. Optimizing for profits. If you want me and my team at Premier Marketing Institute to help your business build the system that engineer this demand, help you create offers, your front end offers, mid-ticket, high-ticket offers that actually create lifetime value for your business. All you have to do is to go to our page, pmi.ng/digital-launchpad, and book a session with us. And we will help you build a system that will engineer your demand and increase your lifetime value. And that is a wrap for this week's episode of the Oversubscribed Challenge podcast. Watch out for our next episode, and do not forget to like this episode and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that.